What is up, everybody? Today we're going to walk through my TSA Friendly Survival Pack. Now, this is a super compact, just like generic toiletry bag. You can pretty much pick this bag up anywhere, like a container store or any just fabric store. You just get, it's basically just a small little zippered bag. You can literally use anything. I like it because it's super lightweight and it's also see-through, so I can see the contents at any moment in time. But if you wanted to, you could always just use a Maxpedition. I've used the Maxpedition in the past. It's just, I think, a little bit overbuilt for this particular application. And I'm typically traveling pretty light. And so this bag is already pretty heavy. It's a few pounds. And so if I could save another, few ounces, not going with an overbuilt bag, I think that's phenomenal. Now, as you can see, I've got my hand sanitizer on here. I also keep a hand sanitizer on my actual main bag. Hygiene's number one. It's important, and it makes sure that, particularly when you're traveling, there's a lot of germs, and so you want to make sure that hey, you're not getting sick, and you can actually enjoy your trip rather than be sick on it, because that's happened. Also, I've got just a little beaner, nothing too crazy, little beaner, and a little light that I can just use to sort of see the contents inside the bag in case it gets dark. So let's get through the contents of this. So I'm going to pull these out one by one, and we can kind of see, hey, what exactly do we have in here? So first thing is just a quick little REI pack towel. I can't tell you the amount of times I've ended up having to use this, just to, hey, for a quick shower sometimes. I'll be out on a camping trip and I'm just like, man, I just need to do a quick shower, and I don't have anything. Or sometimes I'm actually at the gym and I do a quick shower and they don't even have towels at the gym. And so having this, just being able to do a quick wipe down and not have my clothes soaking wet, super good. So you've got the pack towel here. Here's my small little, this is more of a boo-boo kit than a trauma kit. Just mainly small little things like your Band-Aids and your, emergencies, and some coldies, which is like a zinc drop, which I use every time I start to feel a little tickle in my throat. I'll jump on the coldies train, and it usually ends up cutting my sicknesses down. It's important. Hey, you want to keep that stuff down. And you can also see there's also a small little sewing kit. It's one of those little sewing kits you get from those hotel toiletry bags. And you can see here, it's got thread and a safety pin. So it got a couple other small little things in here. Obviously not a, overbuilt, crazy first aid kit, just enough to get by, your scrapes and your boo-boos. Just a one-handed fire steel. I'm a huge fan of this. I'm not gonna use it here. Obviously I don't wanna ruin my floor, but I love that it's one-handed because, hey, if you're using a fire steel, if you get to that point, you might be injured. You might have fallen. You might, one of your hands is down. You might not even have full use of your fingers. And so being able to use something like this, where it's literally just a squeeze. So if you see here, I don't know if you can watch this, but this basically squeezes down and it basically brings the striker down to the fire steel. You press this down here and then boom, you just slam it down, and man, this thing gets crazy sparks. This might be my favorite fire steel tool. And so I just keep it in here. I like to keep it in the actual plastic container, so that way it's not getting, pressed in and out while it's in the bag, and prematurely wearing down the fire steel. You can see here, this is sort of just one of those multi-use cords. I can't tell you how many times I've gone traveling and I forgot my micro USB. Obviously this one's pretty much outdated. No one's really using that old iPhone, but it's just nice to have one of these. No matter what, hey, in your emergency kit, you've got a cable for all of your devices. On that note, I also include just a battery pack. You can just use any battery pack, but what I like about this one is it's got, solar panel. I mean, let's be real. You're never gonna end up using this. It'll probably take a week of direct sunlight before this thing actually gets, actually fully charged. But hey, why not? If you got it, why not? Let's might as well use it. It's sort of dual purpose. It also has, an extra light on the side. So you can actually end up using it for light purposes. See if I can end up. Oh man, I'm trying to figure out how to use the light. I know for a fact the light works. I just have to figure out what's the right sequence of buttons. But we'll get back to that. What I also like, it's got a little bit of compass. I know this is just a shitty little button compass, But hey, sometimes if you're looking at your main compass and you want to just quadruple and double check that, then you've got one extra redundancy. The last thing you want to do when you're needing a compass is to be doubting that your compass is working. There we go. I got the light working. Okay, so just now it's on strobe mode. Just had to press it a little tighter, which I appreciate. I appreciate that you're not just having to hold this thing down. It actually requires you to press it down so it's not inadvertently turning on when it's inside your pack. So really cool. I like this thing a lot. Look, it's made by Devil. So I'll put the link to that one in the description. So, between this 2-pack, I feel like I've got my electronics covered. I think a lot of people end up forgetting about their electronics. I mean, sometimes your iPhone is your #1 survival device. It allows you to see, hey, like where am I going? And all of those other fun things. More fire stuff. So, just strike-proof matches. Important to have that. Man, bug spray. Bug spray and sunscreen. I think people forget this a lot. This is like probably one of my most used items. I'm on a beach and, I'm just getting torched up. I'm playing some beach volleyball. Why not? I've always got some sunscreen on me and I've always got some bug spray on me. Man, I can't tell you how much this has come as a lifesaver. Highly recommend you just throw this in your survival pack. Remember, this isn't just about surviving the woods, but it's like just everyday functionality stuff that you just want to use. You want this to be a useful pack that you're always whipping out and you're feeling like, hey, like no matter what, I've got my stuff handled. Bic lighter, of course, this is like your primary combustion device. Your cutting tools. So like this is like my dual purpose pack. So if you take a look in here, this actually has a wire saw. So obviously you're not going to be cutting crazy amounts of fire, but hey, this thing takes up no space or weight at all. Why wouldn't you just have a fire saw in case for whatever reason you need to create a shelter? You can see I've also got a backup little light here. And then I also keep just because this is an extra Ziploc bag, I keep these are like water filtration tablets. And so for whatever reason I needed, a little bit extra water. The great thing about it, I always carry a water bottle with me. So I can, this is already a liter. And so this one tablet, one in here, wait 4 hours and you've got clean water. If I'm going somewhere super sketch, I'm going third world country, I'll bring my extra large, single wall clean canteen, because I like about this one, single wall, you can dip it right into a fire, boil water, have clean water forever. So there you go. So we talked a little bit about the compass. This is actually like my main compass. This is a Sunto button compass. So it's a lot more reliable than other, crappy button compasses. It's super small. It allows me to be like, hey, this is like my main compass. In case, for whatever reason I need to end up, just using it, you've got that there. Cordage, I've got a bunch of different options for cordage. You've got your small little mini duct tape roll. They sell this stuff at REI. It's sort of like a refill pack. You can use duct tape for everything, repairing a pack, repairing a luggage that exploded in the airport. You've got an extra roll here. And the great thing about it also is I've also got this. This is probably like, if you can only get one thing, you should get this. This is basically everything you need all in one contained. It's the Adventure Medical Kits, which is one of my favorite companies, Pocket Survival Pack. I could make a video just on this. It's got everything you need from cordage to another button compass to a bunch of tinder, an emergency whistle, a little spark wheel, and a backup duct tape roll. So if you've got, also it's got like, a bunch of other stuff like a right in the rain pad inside there, as well as a survival mirror. So if you need to do some signaling. So if you just needed one pack, this is something you just throw in your pocket. You've always got everything you need. And so this is, you guys, you can see like there's so much stuff in here. There's like so much stuff in here, and it's like literally all fits in this one little tiny pack, and always just sitting in the bottom of my pack. It's always ready to go. Back to more first aid stuff. Man, this is like one of my most used first aid kits. You've got little packets of moleskin. It's super thin. It'll fit anywhere. You're walking the cobblestones of Europe and your feet hurting and you're not trying to, slow down. Why wouldn't you just have a little bit of moleskin, throw it on, and you're ready to go for another, 5 miles. You're ready to rock and roll. Condom. Other than the obvious uses, you've also got a backup water container. So hey, for whatever reason you don't have your water bottle with you, why not? You've got a condom. You can use it for a myriad of things. You could use it as a water container. You could use it to store, other things. You could use it to you could use it as a face mask if you wanted to get really crazy. So hey, just throw it in there. Why not? I've got, just this. It's another small little thing. It's like, to be honest, I'm not really like, I don't know every rope. I don't know every knot in the book. And so just having this as a little quick little reference guide, it's got all of the rope, the knots in there. It's like, hey, instead of memorizing it, I just got it all right here. I know my basics, but if you wanted something that's a little bit more, especially when you're limited on the amount of cordage, obviously we've got a little bit of cordage in here. You've got this little paracord bracelet here, but that's like what, 10 feet of paracord with all the strands inside. If you are not smart with your knots, you can end up using a lot more cordage than needed. And so just having that, you can see here, you've got survival. I mean, you've got your shelter kit, your survival pack. This is your survival blanket. Super thin. Obviously, it's not going to be the world's best survival blanket, but hey, it's small, it fits in the pack. These are like 99 cents. Why wouldn't you just throw that on there? For whatever reason, you end up having that. You can see I actually have a bunch more. I have 2 more Bic lighters. That's probably more than I need. So I'll probably end up dropping one of these. I think I just hadn't seen that I had so many. So I'll end up dropping that out. Hey, throw a USB cord in there. Why not? Like, you can end up, instead of using your battery pack, you can charge your battery pack. You can have all of those things ready to go. And so throw that in there. A bandana for a variety of reasons. In today's environment, you might as well even throw in an N95 mask. But hey, you've got a bandana. You can use this for sunshade. You can use this if you're on an ATV and there's dust everywhere. You've got a bandana. I don't need to talk to you about the millions of uses. Just some backup, and I like these, some backup earplugs. And I like these because these are wired. These are obviously from my firearms kit, but hey, you're on a plane and there's a baby crying next to you. This is what I'm talking about, practicality. It's not just about surviving in the woods, it's just about everyday survival situations. And like, if you're next to a crying baby and your AirPods are running out of battery, it's like knowing that you've got some backup earplugs that you can survive that 9-hour flight. Hey, why not? And then this is actually my favorite thing in here. This is a small little, you can get this at REI, small little just travel scissors. And, obviously you can't travel on a plane with a blade, but hey, let me tell you, this is the next best thing. It's TSA friendly. You can end up using this for a variety of reasons. It's your cutting tool. But also, hey, in a pinch, it's a potential self-defense weapon. You're in a sketchy neighborhood, you just throw this in your pocket. And if things start to get a little sketch, you end up just popping this right in your pocket, and you've got things ready to go. And so why not? This is like one of my favorite little tools. Highly recommend everyone pick this up. I think it's like $3, and now you've got a blade kit ready to go in your pocket. So that's pretty much it. That's my TSA Friendly Survival Kit. I hope this was helpful for all of you. Obviously, this includes everything. You can see here. Let's just do a quick overview. You can see that everything is here. Everything's sort of laid out. What I like about this is it's got all the basics covered. If you're looking at the 10 C's of survival, the Dave Canterbury 10 C's of survival, this was built off of, you can see that it's pretty much got it all. You've got your cutting tool, you've got that here, and obviously you're super limited with your cutting tools because of the TSA restrictions, but you've got your cutting tool. And if you're checking a bag, why wouldn't you just, include a blade in your checked bag? But if you're just going carry on only, you've got a cutting tool ready to go. You've also got the wire saw ready to go. Your combustion devices, you can see here, we got a bunch of different combustion devices. You've got fire steels, you've got Bic lighters, you've got stormproof matches, you've got tinder inside the survival kit, you've got another backup blade, another backup combustion device there. So there's definitely a ton of combustion devices. I think fire is one of the most important survival tools. It's light, it's warmth, it's a way to make water clean. So it's, to me, you can never have too many combustion devices. Your cover, so you've got a ton of cover here. You've got your survival blanket, you've got your bandana, you've got some I wouldn't really call that cover, but hey, you've got aluminum foil in there. That's really more for water. But you've got the towel over here. So you've got definitely have some cover options to help keep you ready to go. Your container, we've got a couple different container options. We have the condom, of course, but also just your Nalgene. Like, hey, there's no need to go crazy. You've got a Nalgene, and if you really wanted to go nuts, you can just get this single wall clean canteen, so you can drop it right into a fire if you needed to. Cordage, we have a ton of cordage. You've got the paracord bracelet. You've got some lines over here. You could probably go a little bit more on the cordage, but you've got some other stuff here. Probably go a little bit more on the cordage. You can never have too much cordage. Got some duct tape, but hey, I think like I'm gonna add some more bank line to this in the future. Probably end up replacing some of the paracord. We already talked about the cotton bandanas. Cargo tape, we've already talked about that. You've got 2 rolls there. We've got a bunch of compasses. So you talked about the Sunto button compass. We've got another button compass in here. And then you've got the compass that's on the actual battery pack. So you have 3 redundancies. And the reason you want to have 3 is really important when it comes to compasses, is if you only have 2, you don't know which one is right and which one's wrong. But if you have 3, you can confirm. I'm going to repeat that again because that's super critical. You never want to travel with only 2 compasses, right? Because you don't know which one is broken. So, with button compasses, they're prone to failure. So if you have 3, you can at least confirm, hey, which one of those 3 is broken. And if you include the compass in your iPhone, which is actually pretty accurate, you've got 4. So remember, make sure, 1 is none, 2 is 1. But when it comes to compasses, you definitely want a minimum of 3. Cloth sail needle. So we have some, a sewing kit in here. We've got, back to the first aid kit, we've got a sewing kit in here, but actually in my toiletry bag where I keep my my toothbrush and my deodorant, I have a cloth sail needle there. So that could actually function as also a backup. It's also magnetized, so it can function as a backup compass. So make sure you have those really thick cloth sail needles, so that way you can end up patching something if needed. And then lastly is your candling device. We talked a little bit. We have the phone that can operate as a light. We've got a bunch of these little small little lights here. You could, in a pinch, use the fire as a candling device. So we've got a couple there. And then, hey, don't forget your iPhone. Your iPhone's probably got your favorite of all of the lights, probably the one that's the most used. And so you can see here, you've got your 10 C's of survival all ready to go. It's a super compact kit. This is just what I do. This is something that I've been doing for about 10 years now. It's worked for me, and it includes the stuff that I just end up using on a daily basis. Like, hey, bug spray, simple things. Moleskin. There's nothing wrong with just throwing on, a quick patch on your toe if you're getting a hot spot, so that way you can, continue on with a museum tour. This isn't about, hey, being dropped in the middle of the woods. It's just about everyday practicality. So I'd love to hear what your TSA Friendly Survival Pack looks like. So leave a comment in the comment below. What did I miss? I want to learn from you guys. You guys are just as much of knowledge base to me. Like, I love reading the comments on other people's videos. So I'd love to hear what everyone in the community has to say. Drop it in there. Put some fun stuff in there. Put some actual practical stuff in there. I definitely want to hear what you guys are including, because I'm always looking for new ideas to sort of make this pack evolve over time. And maybe I'll do an update video after a couple more suggestions coming from the friends that I'll be able to include in here. So yeah, leave the comments below. And then, hey, also, I'm a brand new channel. I'd love to subscribe. I'd love if you guys could subscribe and engage with the community, engage with the content. Definitely going to be talking a lot more about gears and survival stuff. So I'd love to subscribe. Just support me, and I'd love to support you as well. So I know this video ran a little longer than expected, but I hope it was useful. Hope it gave you guys some ideas, and I hope next time you end up traveling, it ends up being a really a better experience. You end up having a awesome TSA friendly survival kit that ends up making your life on the road a lot easier. So thanks a lot again, and looking forward to the next one. Cheers.